Okay guys, so this is my shotgun stock we talked about and we're gonna do some see if we can make this look really good. It's got some grain coming through there, which is great, but I want it to be really nice. So following some directions, just a little spot hole, and then I have a little applicator there. That's about all I want. Cap back on to maintain it, and this is the True Oil gun stock finish. Some recommendations I got online were to use small bit at a time, multiple coats, and you bare finger it or you can use this. I'm just going to go this way and see what I can do. So nice long even strokes. First one's going to be thin. Just want to make sure I cover the whole thing. And I'm using a rubber glove. I don't know, just because. Maybe that will make it a more even coat. I don't know. I've seen people do this in videos and they slopped it on there, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put it on nice and thin, kind of work it in as I go, and hopefully this will give some style to this shotgun. Make sure not to leave any drips. So this is going to be a series that I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to walk you through the number of times I apply. I'm going to let it dry really hard overnight and then take it over with some steel wool, as I've been recommended. I literally just got this kit. I ordered it online and just got this kit in the mail. You know, the guy just rang my doorbell, so let's see. I guess you could say I was excited to do this. I've never done anything with wood before, so this is a first for me. So let's see what we come up with. Alright, this is day 2 and coat 3. Now I have noticed one thing. Rubber gloves don't work very well. As soon as this stuff kind of hardens up a little bit when you're putting it on, because you're putting it on very light coats, it's going to grab that rubber glove and it's going to tear. I've been using these paper plates to rest these and have them dry. I put this one on this cover last night and it actually ripped some of the paper off, so I'm not going to use that again. But I am not really set up for a drying station. I need a coat hanger or something that I can use, but for now this is what I'm doing. I had a drip on this one. It had a run, so I took two things. Used steel wool and went over it, and that left a little fuzzies of steel wool all over it. That was a bitch. So I had to use these to wipe it off clean, and then it left on the drip a big gray mark. It embedded the steel wool into the drip. So I had to use this. This is the finest grit sandpaper that came with it, and I used that to take it off, and it really freaked me out because, as you see, there's a mark there. Now real dark up here, I'm okay. Okay, whatever. Yeah, this is my first time doing this, so I'm not too concerned. But yeah, you just really use your finger and make sure you don't have any runs, and keep wiping over it until it's smooth. That's the best you can do. So now I'm using a, and I threw it away, so let me mark it again. 1, 2. I'm using the paper plate to dry it and also to mark how many layers. So this is the third. So number 3. And really, I've been holding this in many different directions and whatever. Straight with your finger. And like everybody says, you know, no rush. Yeah, and the more I apply, that little sanding area is going to go away. So, it's going to come out good. I think it's going to get darker, but that's alright. I'm alright with that. Alright, more to come. Okay, what we're doing is we're going to coat 4. What I'm noticing is it seems to look like there's little pits. The wood looks really good, but it seems to have, it looks like it's pits. I don't know. I like it. Still not quite done there, but it's looking good. I'm noticing you got some spots, pits, maybe a little uneven on the checkering. But more coats, it'll improve. I find it's very important to have a good light source when you're doing this, so you can see the reflection. Once you start adding multiple coats, it's very easy to miss a spot. So you want to have good lighting when you do this. You get the reflection of the slick true oil. And again, you don't want drips, you don't want streaks, you want to have it nice. So I just keep going over and over and over until I feel smooth. I don't want any little marks, if you will. Nice long strokes. Alright, this would be coat 4. Alright guys, this is for coat number 5. This is after it's dried for, gee, I don't know, well, let's say over 12, under 24. Now, I've been applying these coats extremely thin, and yet one of the things I've noticed is that no matter how much you put in checkering, it doesn't seem to grab it very well on this stock, so it over time drips. Now this side is pretty good, but you see it's gathering here, and I'm just going to have to deal with that. Maybe I'm going to have to
rest it in a different position rather than like this. Like this. Maybe I'll rest it this way or this way. I have a drip that I sanded and then slowly covered, and I'm just going to try and cover it with more true oil. But yeah, it's coming directly out of the checkering. You know, it would be smooth and there's no drips, and then it comes down out of this and then drips down here. It goes to about that far. I've sanded that down as well, and then I'll just kind of try and cover it up with coats of true oil. Yeah, I'm going to have to sand this one down a little bit. I got a couple fingerprints because this fell over. I was resting it like this. How was I doing it? I was doing this to it. And yeah, that looks stable, right? And then all of a sudden I found it like that. And one of the sides was covered with fuzz from this blanket, and yeah, it was a pain in the ass. Talk about dropping an F-bomb. So I'm going to have to sand this down a little bit and smooth it out, and then apply some more coats. So it's getting there, but yes, you really have to watch the drip factor. So we'll get ready and we'll do another coat. I guess what I'm trying to do on this checkering is very small amount and then vigorous rubbing with my finger. You know, this is obviously, you know, my first time ever doing this, but this is one of those things that I don't think you can do perfect on the first try. I think, you know, to be really good at this type of thing, you have to do it multiple times. You know, just one more little peck there. It all depends on how you know, do you want it to be perfect, or do you want it to just look better than it did before? And I don't think there's anything I can do to this to make it not look better than it did before. It was plain Jane out of the box before, but now here I am on my 5th coat, and I'm just going over it to make sure that fuzzy to grab on. I'm just going over it to make sure that there's no uneven parts, streaks. You know, there are some issues, but you know, I'm not gonna stress over it. I'll do the buttstock. Okay, so we're just about to the finish point here. Just to put the barrel on. And I have to say that I'm pleased with the turnout of my stock refinish. it was a lot of work, and it is harder than a lot of people give it credit. I think it came out pretty good. I'm pleased with it. I'm regretting putting this butt pad on here, but whatever. It'll work. So it was a process that took some time. The major issue I had was, you know, even though I was putting hardly any true oil on it, it seemed that the liquid would come out of nowhere and drip, which is part of the game. It's okay. You know, it's a process, man. You have to, you know, do it again. I think it would have been more enjoyable if if I had sanded the stock completely down. And stained it myself. I think that would have been a fun thing to do. But, you know, still some issues with the bluing, but I think that, you know, the odd thing about this thing is that this barrel is less than a year old. It's got scratches on it. You know, the tube's got scratches on it, or wearing or bluing. That kind of gives it some texture, but I'm pleased with how the stock came out. It is really shiny, but I'm okay with that. I like it. Checkering went a little bit darker, maybe even a little bit uneven, but I think it looks good. Gives my shotgun some love. Big fan of this gun. Safety works fine. So, I just want to say thanks for watching. Nice long video, huh?